Something isn't right. The school has a problem. Fighting, bullying, vandalism, absenteeism.
Excuse me, Teacher Z. Congratulations. You are now the acting principal. Your mission: restore discipline in 6 months.
If you became principal today, where would you begin? Before solving any problem, you must investigate it.
We've increased punishments.
Nothing has changed.
Attendance has dropped.
We are discussing the symptoms. Let's investigate the causes. Actually, there's a second envelope. Congratulations, you are now the acting principal. You have 6 months to restore discipline. Every decision you make from now on will help you write today's essay. When I first looked at this report, one question came to mind. Not who fought, not who vandalized the lockers, not even who skipped class. The real question is, why are students behaving this way? Let's think about it in this way. Imagine you're a doctor. A patient walks into your clinic with a high fever. Do you simply give painkillers, or do you find out what actually caused the fever? Schools are no different. If we only punish our students without understanding what's driving their behavior, the problem keeps coming back. This report tells us what happened, but it doesn't tell us why it happened. What made this student bully another learner? Why would someone choose not to come to school? Why destroy your own school? Notice something? We have many offenses, but we have no answers. If a student keeps missing school, what could be happening? These are possible causes. Why might students fight? These are some of the causes. Why would someone damage school property? These are the possible reasons. There's something interesting looking at the whole board. Different offenses, but the same causes keep appearing. In absenteeism, we have peer pressure. In fighting, we have peer pressure. In vandalism, we have peer pressure. In absenteeism, we have drug abuse. In vandalism, we have drug abuse. We've stopped looking at the symptoms and we've found the root causes. This is how detectives think. Imagine a doctor having some symptoms of a patient: fever, headache, cough. The doctor doesn't treat each symptom separately. They ask, what disease is causing all three? Your essay is the same. Offenses are symptoms, causes are the disease, solutions are the treatment. Remember, every good problem solving essay follows this journey. First, identify the problem, then uncover its causes, and finally propose practical solutions. Think of a tree and its roots. What we see above the ground are the offenses, but the real problem lies beneath the surface. Looking at our detective board, I think we may have solved the mystery. Every good problem-solving essay follows this journey. First, identify the problem, then uncover its causes, and finally propose practical solutions. Now we know why discipline is breaking down, but knowing the problem is only half the job. Note, every cause needs an action. Every solution answers a specific cause. If your solution doesn't solve a cause, it probably doesn't belong in your essay. Notice this time we haven't changed our ideas. We've only changed how we present them. Which solution would you start with? Guidance and counseling, awareness campaigns, parent involvement. Let's choose just one cause. We'll begin with guidance and counseling. Now, ask yourself one simple question. If this is a cause, what should the school do? We are now done with our investigation and our plan. Every great composition begins with a great plan. Let's get to writing. Case solved. We've discovered what is causing indiscipline and we've created a practical plan to solve it. But here's something many students don't realize. An examiner never sees your detective board. They only see your composition. So how do we move from planning to writing? Very simply, every solution you've planned can become one body paragraph. Did you notice what happened? We didn't invent a new idea. We simply turned our solution into a topic sentence. When writing a paragraph, consider the following. Number one, your point. What is your solution? Number two, explain why your solution or point will work. Number three, illustrate or give an example of whatever you're saying. Number four, link it to your point. Think of the strategies as a four-step paragraph builder. State the solution, explain why it works, illustrate it or give evidence with an example, and connect it back to the essay question. Tell the examiner your main point first. Then, don't stop at the solution. Explain why it matters. Next, give the examiner something they can picture. Then, always bring your paragraph back to the question. You can take a minute to pause the video so you can go through what the paragraph is all about. Putting it together, we notice the point, what is your solution, why will it work, can you illustrate your idea, how does this reduce indiscipline? How do we improve our writing? Schools should strengthen guidance and counseling programs to reduce indiscipline among students. Many learners misbehave because they have personal problems that they do not know how to handle. Through counseling, students can receive advice from teachers and counselors and learn how to make better decisions. This will help reduce cases of indiscipline in schools. Here we have personal problems, be better, reduce indiscipline. Can we make this stronger? Our first paragraph is correct. But is it convincing? First, let's circle personal problems. What kind of personal problems? The examiner wants you to be specific. Specific examples make your ideas more believable. Next, we look at receive advice. Advice sounds too general. Let's explain what counseling actually does. Notice that we're explaining the process, not just mentioning. Be sure to pause the video at each edit so we can see the changes. The third edit, make better decisions. Better decisions about what? Now, the examiner can clearly see the connection between the solution and the problem. Lastly, reduce indiscipline. Don't stop there. Show the result. Always finish with impact. As we go through this last paragraph, the final paragraph, did you notice that we didn't add any completely new idea? We simply developed the idea we already had. We replaced vague words with specific examples, explained how guidance and counseling work, showed the effect on student behavior, and linked everything back to the essay question. That's what examiners reward. Not big words, but clear thinking and well developed ideas. Looking at the two checklists side by side, we notice that high-scoring paragraphs have specific and relevant examples, clear explanation, logical cause and effect, and a strong link to the essay question. Remember, great essays aren't written in one attempt, they're improved one sentence at a time. Congratulations, you are now the acting principal. You can introduce only 3 changes. What would they be? Write them in the comments.